Hello everyone! Thanks for joining me today. I'd like to make this card for you from the Stamp and Thin Cut set called Mason Jar Bouquet. It looks like this. I'll share measurements with you and also product numbers in the description box below so that you can just enjoy the process and not have to worry about taking notes. I got this idea, this inspiration, from the idea book and catalog. I liked this layout idea, but I wanted to take away the yellow and put a little darker element in there. So I swapped out the yellow for this blue called Sapphire. Let's go ahead and get started. You'll start with a traditional card base that's 5.5 by 4.25, and then I'm going to layer on top of that the mint dot paper that's 4 by 5.5. That's crooked. That's okay. If I wanted it perfect, I'd buy it in a store. Next, the Sapphire layer is 4.5 by 3.5. And then this last layer, this mint cardstock, is 4.25 by 3.25. I would like to put some more dimension on this by inking the edges. I'm going to grab a dauber and my Sapphire ink, and I'm going to just dip what's here in the lid and ink the edges. I like to kind of go in different directions so it doesn't just look like I've swiped it on one way. So after I get the original color on, I just kind of scribble around the edges a little more until I like it. Okay. Ooh! Oh, almost had a creative opportunity there. Okay. And of course, I've been inked, so it's an official crafting session. This layer will go right there. Alright, next we're going to use the thin cuts and cut out all of the shapes that we'll need. I used every single thin cut that there was, and what's nice about cutting it all from the same cardstock is you can just run it through your cutter with one step if you'd like, so that was pretty efficient. I'm going to stamp using charcoal and pewter inks. First we'll do the outlines with charcoal. You'll notice that there's two stamps on your stamp set. One has a thinner outline and one looks more like a shading, and that's what we're going to use in pewter, and this we're going to use in the charcoal. I like to cut out my shapes first and then stamp them. It's a personal preference. Some people like to stamp and then they'll cut them out afterwards. I find that my shapes tend to shift around a lot when I'm cutting, and so I probably need some more lessons on how to cut without all that shifting going on, but that's why I cut these out first and then I stamp. Now I also have learned that some people have the Brother Scan and Cut, so they don't get the thin shapes. They just stamp out all of their images at one time, and then they put it through their brother's scan and cut. So that's another option. Okay, this guy. I'm trying a different camera angle. That way you won't see my head in the shot anymore. That was annoying. I apologize. My last video I was really out of practice. But now that I'm rediscovering the joy of making these videos for you, I'm getting a little bit better keeping my head out of the frame. This stamp chamois is one of my favorite ways to clean my stamps. I've used all types of methods, and I like this one the best. I do like the smell of that cleaner though that we have, the My Acrylics cleaner. So sometimes I'll go ahead and water down the chamois, but then I'm also spraying it a little bit with the cleaner because it just reminds me that it's stamp time. I don't know, sounds goofy probably. Alright, next, this little guy. I wasn't so sure I was going to use this, but I did. Once I stamped it out, I liked how it looked. Yeah, I have to get better at lining that up. This one lined up perfect. That's my favorite one so far. That's okay. Practice makes perfect. Alright, next color we're going to stamp with is pewter. We're going to go for that shading on the jar. That's this stamp right here. Line this puppy up carefully. You could also have used gray, but I liked a little bit more shading with the pewter. And then the last color I'm going to use will be the color Smoothie. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment for you on this little tag here. Yay, okay. Alright, that's it for our stamping. Now we're going to do some coloring, which is one of my favorite parts. We're going to color these guys with Jade for the leaves. These are our Tri-blend markers. I'll show you how easy they are to use in a second. I'm also going to use the pale pink and then citrus. Let's start with this Jade. I'm going to use the tip that's the dark tip, and I'm going to pretend that the light is coming from the top. And so all of my dark colors will be on the underside of the leaves. This doesn't have to be super well done. We'll blend it with the light color in a second. Ooh, and then I got these shimmery sparkly pens to show you. Okay, now I'm going to go to the light. I'm going to overlap what I colored before and color the other half, the top parts, to show that that's where the light's coming from. I'm going to go over these a little bit more so that they blend in together a little more. Oh, I missed this one too. Hello. There you go. Alright, that looks good for now. Sometimes I find when they dry, you might need to go by and maybe even use your mid color to blend those two together. fact, I know that's what I'm going to end up doing, so I'm just going to do it now, and then you'll see when it dries. I'm just going right down the center line with the medium. You'll see if you like it, and if not, you can go over again, and that's absolutely fine. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves on this guy. Let's see, the light's coming down. I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. We'll just do this, I guess. Maybe the bottom half. It doesn't have to be all scientific, I don't think. Alright, and now for the light side. I'm using our white daisy cardstock. You could probably use watercolor, or that spectrum paper is really nice. It holds a lot of, you know how I'm scribbling this with this ink? It'll take quite a bit of that. And again, I'm going to take my medium. You can kind of see maybe how the colors change a little bit. I want these to blend more as it dries and the alcohol evaporates. Make sure this blends. Okay, for most of the flowers, I'm going to use my pink blend. For these types of flowers, I'm going to take the dark pink and go along the bottom of the petals towards the center here again, pretending that the light's coming from top down. Some of these are so small you could just fill these puppies in, especially since they're on the bottom of the bouquet, and then the light on the top. Okay, I might go in with my medium in a little bit. Let's see how that dries. Do pink for here too. For this guy, I just pretty much solidly colored him in pink. And again, I'm not being ultra careful about coloring in the lines because that's just not how I do things. But if you like to be careful, you take your time and enjoy that process. If I get too picky, I find it takes some of the joy out of this. So, you know, I like to be creative, but I don't know. Lines confine me, I guess. I'm sure there's some deep psychological reason why I don't color in the lines. All right. Yeah, I think I do want to go in with the medium for him. Just kind of blend it out a little more. Do you see? All right, now we're going to take the citrus. I think I just used the middle color and colored in all of these middle parts of the flower. Alright, sorry if you hear some noise, that's my daughter. She just got back from taking our foster puppy for a walk, and I've got creaky old floors above me. We've got a foster puppy. She needs frequent exercise. I'll take her out later too. Alright, now for this one, I remember, let's see, let me look at the, yeah, for the jar and the tag, I did a little bit more of that inking. So let me grab that. The Sapphire ink is what I'm talking about here. And then that'll be the final step for getting all the color on these. Alright, and then for this one too, just do some inking along the side. Alright, I'm looking for my, oh geez, it's right here. Have you ever done that where you've hidden something in plain sight and you're looking for something? Okay. I also want to find my foam tape. Again, right in front of my face. Okay, we're good. So to put this guy together, oh, you know what else I did? I remember now. I used some of this twine, which is not a close to my heart item, but look how that goes together. I had to use it. This, I believe, is from the Dollar Spot and Target. That front area, I just can't stay out of there. I get in trouble all the time. All right, so here I'm going to do some wrapping with the twine. I don't know. I think I pulled out like maybe 12, 18 inches. I don't know. I pulled plenty out because I'm going to make a bow, and I need plenty of room to make a bow. I wrap it around about 3, maybe 4 times, and then I'm going to tie a knot. And then you probably noticed how this die cut is already made so that you can put the flowers inside the jar there, which I absolutely love. All right, and then once he's tied, then I can trim off the excess. I probably go through a lot more twine than I need to, but I just like it to be comfortable so I'm not, you know, confined trying to tie a little bitty bow. All right, I think I like him. He looks good. Now I'm going to glue the bottom like this. Notice I use tons of adhesive. It's who I am. I like it. And then for the top, I'm going to use some of this foam tape. I want the flowers to pop up a little bit. Let me first make sure I like how they are. Yeah, those are good. So I'm going to put one like right down the center here that also kind of holds them in place a little bit, as you can see. And then put this maybe here. And if you see a little bit of this peeking out, it's really not the end of the world. Nobody's going to look that closely. And if they do, you can introduce them to paper crafts and say, wow, you have a discriminating eye. Perhaps you'd like to join me. All right. Now we just put him there. And then we put this guy here. Let's see. I think I just glued this bottom part. And we're all done. Do you love that one? I love it. I hope you like it too. Oh wait, I'm not done. Hold up. I did a little bit more with these shimmer pens. I think they're called shimmer brushes. There's this green one. I think it's emerald. I went over all the leaves on the dark side with this. I think it just added a nice little thing. Again, some of you probably have stickles. Yeah, you might have those stickles. I just seem to need to glitter everything. If you don't want to glitter, you certainly don't have to, but I think it adds a nice little touch. And then I've got this clear one that I just kind of put all throughout the flowers. I really think it made them pop. Some of you also might have like little gems or something, and you can glue them in the little center part of the flower if you want. I think that might be pretty. There, that was what I did. Okay, I think that's it. Let me look around. Did I do anything else? No, I think we're good. So, there's our card. You can make up a whole bunch of these and make a card set for somebody, or you could just send a little something something. There's nothing like a handwritten card. People get to go back and reread it, right? It's more meaningful than a text. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll put all of the product numbers in the description box if you're interested in purchasing any of these items. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye for now.